We're starting a new feature. We're going to do it every Thursday. And it's a very interesting feature. You know, Ye, the producer of the show, he's the new producer of the show. And Ye said to me, you know what, Carol, you're not dipping into your mom bag enough. Like, you're not having enough fun with the mom title. Yeah. Ooh. And I'm like, you know what? I have so much stress and conversations I actually want to unpack with KZN around this space. So we have a brand new feature that's starting today. It's called Mom's Moment. It will happen every Thursday, 9:30 all the way until 10 a.m. We are going to unpack mom conversations. We are going to unpack parenting conversations. And we thought today we're going to start hard. And we're starting with Mama's Boys. Mama's Boys. We're going to get into the topic of Mama's Boys. So here we go. Moms.
If I'm distracted doing something and she's already said mom, 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 the third time she'll go, Katy Perry! And I'm like, wow. No, don't call me that.
It's our moment with Carol Ofori. That's right, moms. Come closer, and everybody else is invited as well. This is a conversation that affects us all. We all had a mom, you know, or have a mom. That's the story. So here's what we're going to unpack today. We're talking Mama's Boys, yeah? And we need to have a little bit of a serious conversation around this because I came across some audio which changed and flipped the script on the concept of a Mama's Boy. But we'll get to that at 10 o'clock. The audio will wrap this conversation up. For now, I've asked you and invited you to tell me when you hear the term Mama's Boys or Mama's Boy, what do you think?
Hi, Carol. My name is Sanele from Estos. It's a very nice being a mother's boy until you lose your mother. I lost my mother in 2020, and I was a self-confessed mama's baby. And I didn't care who said what. I loved my mother unconditionally, and she as well. And then I lost her, and my world crumbled. I mean, it's very hard to get up from losing your mother if you are a self-confessed mama's baby. Bye, Carol.
Oh, thank you so much for that humble voice note and sending you lots of love. 0617929495. When you hear the term mama's boy, what comes to your mind? Now, I'm raising a girl and a boy, so I've had this privilege of raising two different sexes, and boys are very different, and I've always been fearful of the concept of raising a mama's boy as my boy being a mama's boy. I really wanted him to be a very independent boy, a boy who can, find his own feet, start his own family, do his own thing, and not rely constantly on me for nurturing, for support, for love, but come to get it because he needs it in the moment, not that he needs it to complete life.
Sure.
He should be an independent individual. That's kind of where I'm going. So let's look at the definition. A mama's boy is commonly defined as a boy or a man who shows excessive attachment to or dependence on his mother, often beyond what society considers typical for his age. Okay, so in everyday speech, it suggests that someone who's just, you got to go through mama for everything. They rely on mama financially, they're dependent for mama. Any decision that's being made, mama must make it. And I'm talking about a grown man, right? Not little children. So the question is it wrong to have a mama's boy? Is it correct? What are your thoughts? So here are my three questions to you. Is raising a mama's boy actually raising a better man? If you're an adult son, do you consider yourself a mama's boy, and why do you say so? And also, do you see mama's boy as an insult when someone says, hey, you're a mama's boy? Or do you see it as a compliment? And why, right? Now, here's the thing. A boy who grows up knowing emotional safety and care from his mother tends to grow up secure, confident, emotionally resilient. We know in South Africa we suffer with a problem called GBV.
Sure.
Gender-based violence. And these roles sometimes can affect how men see themselves in society and the relationships they have with the opposite sex. So there's this weird line you got to straddle, right? To nurture enough, but also not to coddle. And we have the most amazing audio that's going to put everything in perspective for you at the end of this. But for now, the court and the ball and whatever is open. I just want to hear us have a conversation around it. What are your thoughts on the concept of a mama's boy? Are we raising boys to be better men by raising them as mama's boys? Do you consider yourself one? And do you see it as an insult? Let's get into it. Llewellyn, how are you?
Hey, Carol, I'm good, and you?
Great, thank you. I believe you want to chime in on this one. What are your thoughts on the topic?
I think the words mama's boy is fighting words. So I was called that many, many years ago, and my flabber was gossip. So I thought to myself, no, I have to change this. I think when you have too much emotional dependency on any parents, especially your mom, when you grow up and become an adult, you have no idea what the world is like because you've been sheltered and protected way too much.
Yeah. There is that strong balance, right, of mom giving a lot of love and affection, especially in the younger years of a boy's, growing up, before like 16, 17, when boys are like, don't kiss me, don't hug me. There's something very special about that, giving that bond. What kind of makes me very sad is when you see a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, or even 10-year-old boy, and he falls and he scrapes his knee and he cries. And then, you can see he's looking to his mom just for a hug to say everything's going to be okay. And then you have that auntie going, you're a boy, go.
You must walk it off. Yes.
And this is where we need to understand that boys are different. There are those boys that will fall, scrape their knee, stand up and carry on playing. And in that moment, I don't think mommy should run and go coddle him because he's actually okay. But then there's that boy who's going to cry. And there's a reason why he's crying. He wants that affection. Right? So 100%. I love that. And I think you stepping into the space of when you become an adult and you rely on your parents for that emotional support, it becomes a bit tricky, especially as we heard from our voice note earlier. We had a guy who said he's a self-confessed mama's boy, but the downside of it is now his mom is no longer, and it's been a difficult transition for him.
100%. Emotions are important. It also teaches them that it's okay to cry. It's okay to seek emotional dependency when needed. It's okay for boys to feel some type of way.
100%. And I think society has been so hard on boys and men to say you can't show emotion. And when we need our men and our dads and our fathers and our uncles to show emotion, they've been taught otherwise. It's difficult to 100%. Tap into it.
100%. And that creates tough fathers and tough uncles and tough granddads, and then that generation leads to a harder generation that just leads to an even worse generation. So we need to understand emotion is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of meekness. You can have emotion and still be considered strong.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Llewellyn, for your input. Appreciate it. Hey, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Llewellyn weighing in on this one. Let's have you weigh in here.
Hey, Carol. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm with a client now with Angelic Eyes Lash Studio, and we're laughing at this. Shame. As a professional child, I think it's quite sweet. My client says, as long as it's not a meddling mama, you should be fine with a mommy's boy.
Hello, Carol. It's Jimbo here. Being a mama's boy, nothing wrong with that. As a youngster growing up, I was always around with my mom, going all over the place and always getting spoiled rotten. My brother decided to take the other path and just always be with his friends. And I knew if I'd spend time with my mom, I'd get a little treat for the day or a little surprise for the day and get spoiled rotten. So it's a bit of give and take, but mommy's boys, nothing wrong with that. She'll be the best person and the most important person in your life until she's gone. Trust me. Cheers, Queen Bee. Have a good show further.
Thank you so much. Now, I need you to listen to this interview that literally triggered this conversation for me. It was on Joe Rogan podcast, right? This is the Dr. Gabor Mate, right? He was talking about the concept of a mama's boy. And listen carefully to how he unpacks this conversation. I think there's a lot that can be learned from this clip that I'm about to play for you. So turn everything up. When I mean turn everything up, I mean the music, the radio, turn it up. Everything else, down. But this, turn it up. Listen.
And what about the concept of creating, what someone would call a mama's boy? Someone who is scared of the outside world and just wants comfort and attention and just wants to be sheltered from stress and anxiety all the time. They just want to be alone with their mother and their parents.
Yeah, it happens. But why does it happen?
Why does it happen?
So there's a study that I quote in the book where they looked at 1,000 or several hundred women, new mothers, and how they related to their infants. And most of them related very well. Some were not that available, and some were extra doting and extra coddling, you might say, with their infants. They looked at the adults 35 years later. The people that were the most independent and successful and self-actualized were the ones that were super loved by their mothers. Okay. Now, and the conclusion of the researchers was you can't love children too much. Now, the case that you describe is not too much loving, but loving that comes from a very anxious place. So these mothers that coddle their kids when the kids doesn't need coddling, they're not doing it because the child needs it. They're doing it because they need it. Right. They're doing it because they were not cuddled enough. They're anxious, and they pass that anxiety onto the child. You don't create those dependent kids by loving them. You create them by imposing your own agenda on them, your own anxieties on them. So those are the mama's boys, if you want to call them that. But the mama's boy is just a very anxious person who downloaded his parents' or her parents' anxieties.
We'll go into more details for part 2 next Thursday. Set your alarms. Mom's Moment is live, Jessica.